Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanzeeba Noreen. Today we have brought up and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Biden calls for solidarity with Ukraine at D-Day anniversary ceremony near the beaches of Normandy. Video of Beau Biden takes the stand in Hunter Biden's gun trial, talks about tossing the revolver. "102-year-old World War II vet from New York dies while traveling to D-Day ceremony in France. Boeing's Starliner spacecraft docks with space station after thruster issues. Nvidia overtakes Apple to become world's second most valuable company. King Charles III honors a generation that fought, died, and waited for freedom. Macron says France will provide Ukraine with its Mirage combat aircraft to fend off Russian attacks. Putin warns he could provide weapons to attack the West and issues new nuclear threat. "27 killed in Israel strike on UN school in Gaza. USA stunned Pakistan in super over thriller. And Swiatek sees off golf to reach French Open final. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Joe Biden marked the 80th anniversary of D-Day on Thursday by pledging "We will not walk away from Ukraine," drawing a direct line from the fight to liberate Europe from Nazi domination to today's war against Russian aggression. To surrender to bullies, to bow down to dictators, is simply unthinkable, he said during a ceremony at the American Cemetery in Normandy. If we were to do that, it means we would be forgetting what happened here on these hallowed beaches. D-Day was the largest amphibious assault in history, and Biden called it a powerful illustration of how real alliances, make us stronger. He said, "That was a lesson that I pray we Americans never forget." The comment by the Democratic president was a reminder that American commitments around the globe hang in the balance during this year's U.S. election. Donald Trump, the presumptive Republican nominee, has said he would not defend European allies that are delinquent in their own security spending. The widow of Hunter Biden's brother told jurors in his federal gun trial Thursday about the moment she found the revolver in his truck, describing how she put it into a leather pouch, stuffed it into a shopping bag, and tossed it in a trash can outside a market near her home. "I panicked and I wanted to get rid of them," she testified about finding the gun and ammunition in the vehicle's console in October 2018. "I didn't want him to hurt himself, and I didn't want my kids to find it and hurt themselves." The purchase of the Colt revolver by Hunter Biden and Hallie Biden's frenzied disposal of it are the fulcrum of the case against him. Federal prosecutors say the president's son was in the throes of a heavy crack addiction when he bought the gun. Hallie Biden, who had a brief romantic relationship with Hunter after Beau Biden died in 2015, testified that from the time Hunter returned to Delaware from a 2018 trip to California until she threw his gun away, she did not see him using drugs. That time period included the day he bought the weapon. Much of her testimony focused on October 23, 2018, 11 days after he bought the gun and when she tossed it. Hunter was staying with her and seemed exhausted. Asked by the prosecutor if it appeared that Hunter was using drugs around then, she said he could have been. As Hunter slept in her home, Hallie Biden went to check his car. She said she was hoping to help him get or stay sober, free of both alcohol and cocaine. She said she found the remnants of crack cocaine and drug paraphernalia. She also found the gun Hunter purchased in a box with a broken lock that kept it from fully closing. There was ammunition too. Hallie said she considered hiding the gun but thought her kids might find it, so she decided to throw it away. A 102-year-old World War II Navy veteran from New York died while traveling to France to take part in a ceremony to honor the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion that turned the tide of the war toward Allied victory. Robert Persichitto was traveling to Normandy by ship with the veterans group headed to the site of the historic June 6, 1944 war milestone. On the ship, he suffered a medical episode and was airlifted to a hospital in Germany where he died. Richard Stewart, the president of veteran organization Honor Flight Rochester, said on Thursday. Stewart said he received the call informing him of Persichitto's death on Friday, news no one expected as he was active, sharp as a tack, right up to the end. His health was age-appropriately very good up to 102. He had some heart problems, but he checked with his doctor who said, "Absolutely go on the trip," Stewart said. He passed away peacefully. He was around people. Two NASA astronauts aboard Boeing's Starliner capsule arrived at the International Space Station Thursday, successfully docking with the orbiting outpost despite issues with the spacecraft's thrusters. NASA confirmed that the spacecraft and its crew, astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams, docked with the space station at 1:34 p.m. ET. "Nice to be attached to the big city in the sky," Wilmore told mission controllers on the ground. An earlier docking attempt planned for 12:15 p.m. ET was called off after problems were discovered with 5 of the 28 thrusters on the lower portion of the Starliner capsule. Flight controllers continue to monitor issues with the capsule's reaction control thrusters, which are used to make fine-tuned changes to the spacecraft's trajectory, such as when it closes in on the space station. Various tests were able to recover all but one thruster, and mission managers gave the go-ahead to proceed with docking. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. NVIDIA has overtaken Apple to become the world's second most valuable company, with furious demand for the chip maker's shares taking its valuation to over $3 trillion. Shares of NVIDIA gained 5.2% on Wednesday to close at $1,224.40, lifting the company's market capitalization to $3.012 trillion. Microsoft, the world's most valuable company, rose 1.91%, while Apple gained 0.78%. NVIDIA's rally continues, an extraordinary streak of gains for the California-based firm, whose graphics processing units have fueled a boom in artificial intelligence. The company's revenues have soared more than 260% over the past year as tech giants such as Microsoft, Meta, Google, and Amazon race to roll out AI. Shares of NVIDIA have more than doubled in value so far this year after more than tripling in value in 2023. NVIDIA last month announced a 10-for-1 stock split to make stock ownership more accessible to employees and investors. Now it's time for global updates. King Charles III came to northern France on Thursday to honor the 22,442 British troops who died in the Battle of Normandy. He also came to honor a generation that sacrificed and fought and died and waited through 5 long years of war, then sent its youngest and bravest to claw their way onto the Normandy beaches and battle through machine gun fire and artillery blasts to begin the invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe on June 6, 1944, D-Day. It is also a generation that is quickly passing into history, with the youngest D-Day veterans now nearing their 100th birthdays. That is a reality the king knows firsthand after losing his mother and father, both World War II veterans, over the last 3 years. So Charles on Thursday said thank you, perhaps for the last time, to old soldiers and their missing comrades during ceremonies at the British Normandy Memorial overlooking the beaches where UK soldiers landed 80 years ago. While the number of living veterans is dwindling, our obligation to remember what they stood for and what they achieved for us all can never diminish, Charles said, wearing the uniform of Field Marshal in the British Army. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky joined world leaders in France on Thursday to commemorate the D-Day invasion and seek more Western help even as his forces battled to stave off a Russian onslaught near the eastern city of Kharkiv in Europe's biggest conflict since World War II. Zelensky and his wife Elena attended the 80th anniversary events in Normandy with US President Joe Biden and European leaders who have supported Kiev's efforts in the war, now in its 3rd year. He will meet with French officials in Paris on Friday. Ukraine is fighting to hold back a recent Russian push in eastern areas, including the border regions of Kharkiv and Donetsk. The offensive seeks to exploit Kiev's shortages of ammunition and troops along the roughly 1,000-kilometer front line. Ukraine has framed the conflict as a clash between Western democratic freedom and Russian tyranny. Russia says it is defending itself against a menacing eastward expansion of the NATO military alliance. Overnight, Ukrainian drones struck an oil refinery and a fuel depot in Russian border regions, officials in the targeted areas said Thursday, in Kiev's ongoing effort to disrupt the Kremlin's war machine. As part of that effort, NATO allies said they would allow Ukraine to use weapons they delivered to Kiev to carry out limited attacks inside Russia. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Russian President Vladimir Putin has unleashed a slew of new threats, suggesting he could provide arms to countries to hit Western targets and rattling his nuclear saber yet again. He is warning a response to the decision by the United States and its European allies to allow Ukraine to attack some Russian territory using their weapons was the latest Kremlin threat against greater support for Kiev. The Russian leader also insisted that Washington and its partners were wrong to assume he would never use nuclear weapons. In response, President Joe Biden said Thursday that Putin was a dictator who had concerned me for 40 years and was struggling to balance domestic pressures with the demands of his military campaign. But Biden also emphasized the US was not allowing Ukraine to use American weapons to strike deep inside Russia and target Moscow or the Kremlin itself. An Israeli strike on a UN school in Gaza, which was being used as a Hamas compound, killed at least 27 people early today, Palestinian authorities said. The military also confirmed that its jets conducted a precise strike on a Hamas compound embedded inside an UNRWA school in the area of Nuseirat in central Gaza. UNRWA is the UN agency for Palestinian refugees. Hamas's media office said the strike killed at least 27 people and wounded dozens more, calling it a horrific massacre that shames humanity. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 18,045.50. The NYSE Composite is increased by 111.01 points or 0.62%. Tokyo stock close price is 38,703.51. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 213.34 points or 0.55%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,048.79. The Shanghai index is decreased by 16.61 points or 0.54%. Hong Kong stock close price is 18,476.80. The Hang Seng index is increased by 51.84 points or 0.28%. Bombay stock close price is 75,074.51. The Sensex index is increased by 692.23 0.27 points or 0.93%. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. The United States beat Pakistan in the T20 World Cup after their Group A match went to a thrilling super over finish in Dallas on Thursday. Both teams made 159 in their regulation 20 overs, with non-test nation the United States then setting Pakistan 19 to win in the super over. Pace bowler Saurav Netravalkar held his nerve as Pakistan, runners-up at the 2022 T20 World Cup and champions in 2009, only managed 13 for 1 in reply. Pakistan were restricted to 159 for 7, with India-born left-arm paceman Netravalkar taking a measly 2 for 18 after being sent into bat in their first match of the tournament. The United States innings ended in dramatic fashion when Nitish Kumar hit a 4 off a last ball full toss from Haris Rauf as the tournament co-hosts, who beat Canada in their opening match, finished on 159 for 3. Pakistan veteran Mohammad Amir was entrusted with the super over but bowled several wides with panic fielding that led to wild overthrows, also helping the United States score 18 runs. Netravalkar bowled a wide with the third ball of his super over, but next delivery he had Iftikhar Ahmed brilliantly caught low down in the deep by Kumar. And with 7 needed of the last ball, Shadab Khan was unable to manage the 6 that would have forced a second super over. Iga Swiatek continued her bid for a 4th French Open title on Thursday with a dominant victory over Coco Gauff to reach another final at Roland Garros. The world #1 is just 1 match away from becoming the first woman to win the tournament in 3 straight years since Justin Henin in 2007 after a 6-2, 6-4 victory. It was intense in the second set. It was kind of tight because we were breaking each other, but I'm glad I was consistent in my tactics and just went for it in the end, she said. Swiatek saved a match point against Naomi Osaka in the second round last week, but has barely broken sweat since, losing just 14 games across the next 4 rounds. The 23-year-old has won all 4 of her previous Grand Slam finals and will bid to extend that run against either 17-year-old sensation Mira Andreeva or Jasmine Paolini on Saturday. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Biden calls for solidarity with Ukraine at D-Day anniversary ceremony near the beaches of Normandy. Widow of Beau Biden takes the stand in Hunter Biden's gun trial, talks about tossing the revolver. "102-year-old World War II vet from New York dies while traveling to D-Day ceremony in France. Boeing's Starliner spacecraft docks with space station after thruster issues. Nvidia overtakes Apple to become world's second most valuable company. King Charles III honors a generation that fought, died, and waited for freedom. Macron says France will provide Ukraine with its Mirage combat aircraft to fend off Russian attacks. Putin warns he could provide weapons to attack the West and issues new nuclear threat. "27 killed in Israel strike on UN school in Gaza." USA stunned Pakistan in super over thriller. And Swiatek sees off golf to reach French Open final. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel, and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV. And also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.